Apex, the peak of South African motoring.
Everybody thinks black's my favorite color. It's actually orange.
Okay.
And we're driving a Atacama orange Jaguar F-PACE SVR.
And it looks quite cool.
I love this color. I think it
like
suits me. And it also comes out in British green, which I know
I
British
love
racing green,
that color.
which you love. So I think we could, like, that could be such a cool shot, the two of them see each other. Anyhow, so I like this car. It puts a smile on my face, straight up. But yeah, it's the unfair advantage of SUVs. They always put a smile on my face. But this one just sounds... You sound like you don't give zeros. Zero stuff that you give. Because we're trying to be very PG and not bleep out things. So zeros have been given when you drive this car. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. So I've driven it like for like a day or so. Obviously I had a F-PACE before. It's the first time I've had the SVR. And it's just, their cars are amazing. I love the Brits. It is
so much character, I think, because I've driven the pre-facelifted F-PACE SVR, and I think the cosmetic updates, I mean the subtle cosmetic updates, it really did improve the overall look from the outside. But I mean, this interior, the updated interior, yes, it looks the same. It's familiar F-PACE, but now you have this massive screen in the middle, and everything is just, it feels well thought out. It's not cluttered. Everything is where you'd like them to be. I love the dials for the automatic climate control. I mean, that you press it and you can adjust the seat heating or ventilation.
And you can pull and like...
Yeah, pull it and do
that I like. That's
blower
like,
speed.
That's analog to a whole new level. That's like, it's not just a turn or a press. It's like you get everything in that one button.
Yeah.
Which I find, like, you know, like climate control. Sometimes you go like to 40 menus just to like make your car cool. And this is very user friendly. It's one single button. I'm sure you've got other options as well, and like you put your seat heaters and all those goodness. But that's quite cool. It's like one of my favorite things.
It's a really comfortable interior, and I mean the seats feel so comfortable, and I mean it is sportier seats.
Yeah.
But it suits the car because it is a sporty SUV, and I mean it is, I mean, speaking of sporty, it is quite sporty if you look at the kilowatts and the 0 to 100 time, the Newton meters of torque. I mean, everything you get. It's
your kilowatts 405 kilowatts, Newton meters of torque 700, 0 to 100 in 4 seconds. Like, and it's an SUV. Like, that's my favorite thing. It's that element of surprise. Like, you pull up next to Oaken or GTI, give him a little wave at the robot, you're like egging him on, he's like, no, he's not going to play, and then eventually ego gives in and he wants to play, and you can play with. Like, you can totally play with. So that I like the fact that this is, like, I find with the F-PACE, it's, so Jag has got this aura around them that it is just fancy, this is sophisticated, this is like next level class. And then I see a car like this that they produce, it ticks all those boxes, but then it also has got that edgy side to it. It's just got that this is the business right here.
And I think Jag is, I mean, they do have the I-PACE, the electric car, which, I mean, it has won myriad awards, and it is a good car as well. But I mean, it's like you have the I-PACE, and then on the other side you have this, and it's this, like, Jag almost, it's like they really do, like, I think with this It's let's go old school.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of new school in it, like all the technology and all of that. So, I mean, that's absolutely great. But it feels old school to a certain extent. I mean, it's not a brand new engine. The engine has been doing the rounds in Jaguar Land Rover products for a long time. But it's
arguably
so
one of the best V8s.
Yeah.
I would, like, again, in my humblest of opinions, one of my favorite V8s.
Yeah, and as you said, this 5-liter supercharged motor, it sounds so good. I mean, you even have the exhaust button to make it louder.
Pull over and just make sound quickly for 1 second. I know I can't pull over anywhere else, and like I like making sound. Like, but then you know what? How nice is that? It's like, what if you open the windows and I get some more sound? It was like the sound was so dampened, and then like you open the window, it's like, that's crazy.
That is so loud. But I think the other thing about it, and this just shows that once the windows are closed, it is very quiet in here. I mean, you can hear the exhaust rumble and all of that, but
it made such a big difference.
It adds that bit of sophistication to the car and to the comfortable driving experience.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think to a large extent there's a very old school factor to this car, and I mean, and Jag can be really old school. I mean, with the XJ, when that was still on sale years ago, I mean, that was the first like more modern car that I climbed into that still had ashtrays. So I mean,
we always joke about like cars don't have lights anymore, but like, I mean, to have an ashtray still is
that was
nuts.
Proper old school. But I mean, it wasn't an old car at the time in any way. But I think the blend of old school and new school in this is so great. And I mean, it's not just the engine that sounds good. It has a lovely sound system, this Meridian surround sound system. So when, I mean, the odd time that you don't want to listen to the exhaust, put on some tunes, you do have that.
And like it is, it's a very quiet cabin, and that was like the proof is right there. Like you could hear that rumble, you could feel it, and like the second you open your windows, it's like amplified, which is so cool. I really enjoyed that. But like, design of the cabin, I like that it's subtle, but it's got like these little spits of poshness. Yeah. Like the suede finish on here, I don't really even understand the point of it, but I don't care.
There's Alcantara everywhere.
I like it.
I mean, the roof lining is Alcantara. It looks good. I mean, yes, it is. It's very dark inside. I mean, the screen really lights it up.
Yeah.
But there's a bit of silver bits and all of that. I would have liked some, as the exterior is orange, I would have liked some orange stitching inside. I think that would have been really great. But I mean, otherwise it's a Jag.
Yeah.
And it feels like one. It has the sophistication. It has
this is a happy car. This makes me happy when I drive it. Like I promise, like not an early riser, like that's not my vibe. Like we do a lot for this industry and getting up early and making content, but like this puts a smile on my face, and the exterior styling as well, like those vents on the bonnet. If you look at like the actual grille, it's got like bigger inlets, and like if you will have a proper look at it now, it just looks really kiff. And the wheels, like it's just everything works in this car. The proportion of it works great. It looks a lot smaller on the outside than what it does in the inside, or than what it feels. Which to me is always like a little bit of a plays with your mind. But it's great. This really is like I struggle to fault this car other than with our current petrol price. This works for me. But it is like, again, you're not going to buy any car of this caliber with this engine and worry about your fuel consumption.
I mean, you'll know that you are going to use a lot of petrol.
You know what you're in for. It's no surprise.
So, and I mean, but I must say, like, of course, in town, you are going to use much more petrol in town. But I think this car, where it really belongs, is on the open road.
Yeah.
And just going on a trip, I mean, of course, you'll have to be very cautious of not landing up in jail for how fast it can go. I believe the top speed is 286, but there's no way that you can do it here.
And that we've even tried to do that.
And
so.
I mean, you'll only be able to really do that if you do live near an autobahn, which we do not. We have the N1 and the N2 and
120 kilometers
120, and I won't necessarily, or I won't suggest anybody go quicker than that.
Maybe we can just get to 120. This is like these small little so you can just drive to 120 the whole time.
Yeah, it's basically slow down, drive again. But it's, I think it belongs on the long road. I think long distance journeys will be so comfortable in this and so enjoyable as well. I mean, you have all the creature features.
It's not really a bucket seat, but it is like that sports seat. It's comfortable. It doesn't grind into it. It's got that soft feel to it. But yeah, like you said, this is the ultimate monster for the open road.
Yeah, and I mean, about the seats, it's also it's well bolstered, although it is quite tight around my middle.
It's tight, but it's
I mean, it keeps you in place. Have you
not been hugged as a kid? This is like a hug. This is, people long for this. This is like what you want. You want a daily hug.
Ben, like if somebody to play my psychologist, have you been hugged as a kid?
Listen, I can be one in this car. Like, everybody wants a hug to make them feel better. And like, I'm not tiny, so, and normally like a bucket seat's like, it's like an uncomfortable grind in my back, and this is, I find it more on the comfortable side. Where
it is more on the comfortable
other
side. Other
cars with similar seats, it's questionable. Like, listen, I've got an experience with that, the Renault Trophy Cup. Those seats are the most atrocious things, in my opinion. I love Renault. I think the French do have,
I mean, that Megane RS is a lovely car.
Those buckets, when you climb in, like, it like nails you on the leg. Climbing in, you can weigh 40. There's no way that's comfortable climbing in and out of that car. Sorry, I'm gonna have like 2 unfollows now, but it's fine. Like, it's not comfortable. This is comfortable. So if you're in it for the comfortable long ride, this is it.
Apex, the peak of South African motoring.